In today's lesson, we're going to continue dividing fractions. However, we are going to begin including mixed numbers into our problems. And when we're dividing mixed numbers, we just simply add an additional step to what we did in our previous lesson. And we're going to start by converting any mixed numbers into improper fractions. And then we're going to follow those rules for dividing fractions, which is to keep the first number the same, change division to multiplication, and then use the reciprocal of the second number. So not much difference today between this lesson and the previous lesson, other than we will have to convert some mixed numbers into improper fractions. So just to review, here we have two fractions, 1/2 divided by 7/3. So we keep the first number the same. We change division to multiplication. We use the reciprocal of the second number. We look to simplify because we will be working with smaller numbers. There's nothing that we can simplify here. 3 times 1 is 3. 2 times 7 is 14. In our second example today, we do have a mixed number and 1/2. So 3/4 is already a fraction, so we're going to keep that as 3/4. And then 1/2, we take denominator times whole number. So 2 times 1 is 2. And then we add our numerator, which is 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3. And we're going to have a improper fraction of 3/2. Excuse me. At this point, we are still dividing because we have not started those steps for dividing fractions yet. So now that we have two fractions, we can follow those steps. So keep times turn. If you remember from our previous lesson, those were the three words. If we remember those, it kind of helps us remember those steps. The 3's essentially cancel each other out. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So we get an answer of 1/2. So when working with mixed numbers, make sure that before finding the reciprocal of a whole number or a mixed number, first write it as an improper fraction. In fact, make sure that before you do any other dividing fraction steps, make sure that you have converted all mixed numbers, all whole numbers into fractions first, and then follow those remaining steps. So if we have 5/9 divided by 4 1/3, 5/9 is already a fraction. 4 1/3, we take 3 times 4 to get 12, plus 1 is 13. So that's 13/3. And remember, we're still dividing at this stage. So we're going to keep 5/9 times turn, use the reciprocal of 13/3. 3 becomes 1, 9 becomes 3. So we get an answer of 5/39. If we didn't simplify at that stage, we would get 15 117ths, which is a little more difficult to simplify. So number 2 here, we have 2 3/5. So 2 times 5 is 10, plus 3 is 13. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 8 is 17. And again, we're still dividing because we haven't gotten into our dividing fraction steps. So we keep 13/5 times turn. Excuse me. There's no simplifying we can do here. 13 times 9 is 117. 5 times 17 is 85. 85 goes into 117 once, with 32/85 as your fraction. So 3 1/2 is 7/2. Remember, we're still dividing. 2 1/8 is 17/8. Keep times turn. 8 becomes 4. 2 becomes 1 because you can divide both those by 2. 7 times 4 is 28. 1 times 17 is 17. So we get 1 and 11/17. Number 20. 5 1/4 is 21/4. 3 1/2 once again is 7/2. Keep times turn. 2 becomes 1, 4 becomes 2, 7 becomes 1, 21 becomes 3. So we get 3 over 2, which is 1 1/2. And then our final two examples, we get 38/5 divided by 131/15. 8 times 15 is 120. 120 plus 11 is 131. Keep times turn. 5 becomes 1. 15 becomes 3. 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11. And 1 times 131 is 131. So 114 131st there. And finally, 38/3 divided by 76/13. Keep times turn. And yes, there's simplifying you can do, especially if you know your 38s. 38 divided by 38 is 1. 76 divided by 38 is 2, which gives us 13/6, which simplifies down to 2 1/6. And that is today's lesson on dividing mixed numbers. And as always with these videos, I hope this helps.